What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Video Nasties, back with Retro Horror. If you guys are watching over on his channel, again, I'm Dan from Reject Films. I feel like it's been a while since our last one, but today we're doing Island of Death from Niko Mastorakis.
Yeah.
Or this cover, since I have two copies for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, flip your artwork.
So you got the other artwork there as well. And I will say, too, this thing is packed with features. There's
Really?
a part documentary on the films of Niko Mastorakis and revisiting set locations, all that kind of stuff. So a really great release from Arrow Video. And as usual, I will start out by letting Retro go through the really messed up synopsis of this film.
Thanks. Island of Death, 1976, I believe, has a great tagline. You know, the tagline is the lucky ones get their brains blown out. The censored title, I believe, was A Craving for Lust. Greek director Niko Mastorakis. This is a batshit crazy film about a British couple that visit a Greek island. I think it's called Mykonos. And they go on a tirade of perversion and murder. It seems like everyone they come into contact with on the island ends up being, attacked by them in some kind of perverted way, including animals. You know, there's bestiality in this. The film is basically a catalog of calculated outrage against victims deemed sinful by this pair of psychopaths. You've just got a smorgasbord of exploitation scenes that are kind of pieced together. It's just like a catalog of torture and perversion that's kind of pieced together into a film. You got rooftop crucifixions. You've got the attack on this gay couple with a gun and a samurai sword. I mean, you got a guy that gets drowned by drinking paint. You got bulldozer decapitations. You name it, man. You got it in this film. Bestiality. It's golden showers. Don't let me forget about the golden shower. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's really, this is the kind of film that you're just you're not going to see this in today's culture. I mean, it's just never going to get made. It was shot on 16 millimeter. I think for like 30,000 pounds. It was Niko's maybe his second film, but it's probably his most infamous film. Alongside of the films that he made, like more mainstream films like Greek Tycoon, which was a kind of a commercial flop. The Wind with Meg Foster, and then The Zero Boys. I mean, people, when you mention Niko Mastorakis, you think of Island of Death. You don't think of those other mainstream films. At least I don't when you first mention his name. Great stuff. It's crazy.
Involved with Dark Room and Blind Date and all those movies too. Yeah. Just an interesting film. The backstory to this, which is detailed pretty extensively, I think, on the extra features, is a fascinating account of the making of this thing. I guess Niko, at the time that this came out, obviously Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a huge impact on everyone, and he felt like that he wanted to make his own. He was inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre, apparently, but obviously this has nothing to parallel with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's just he wanted to create some kind of a shocking horror film that was inspired by Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think he succeeded. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, from what I gathered, like you said, he wasn't necessarily inspired to make a movie like it, but his idea was, hey, they made this movie for next to nothing. I can do that too and make a bunch of money, make something as shocking as this. So I think this is definitely more shocking than Texas Chainsaw because, as we all know, there isn't really much blood or anything in Chainsaw, and there is in this. I mean, not overly done, but definitely a little more brutal than Chainsaw, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely more brutal. It's really nothing is left to the imagination, including that poor goat. I still can't get that out of my mind.
See, I told you on our last one, I remember something about a goat. It had been years since I'd seen it, so I was like, I know there's something to do with that. But I was thinking it was more towards the end when they seek that refuge towards the end, but it wasn't. It was more in the middle of the movie. But yeah, like you said, I mean, they go and pretty much think they're doing the right thing. I guess supposedly he was like a really religious person, even though you couldn't tell. So he sees, a gay couple. Well, that's bad. That's not any good. You see a lesbian woman who's a drug addict. Well, that's evil too. That's the guy is with the woman who's obviously not her husband, so that's adultery. We got to do something about that. But then in the end, not to give too many spoilers away, you find out that their relationship as a couple isn't exactly biblical as well.
Yeah.
So, and I forgot about that little detail there at the very end, as he's in the pit of lime.
Yeah, the film's kind of told like in flashback. Right out of the get-go, you find this character like laying in this bed of rocks, and you don't find out until the end, what's going on with that. But a lot of these scenes and a lot of the story is told in flashback. I'll tell you what, the shooting location is fantastic. It's a beautiful island. I mean, if you wanted a travel monologue of Greece,
apparently it's like a really, like in real life, it's like a notorious island for multiple reasons.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think he did like a documentary on the island in like 2015 or something. But yeah, it's definitely a different looking location. I mean, you have a lot of tight alleyways and a lot of multiple level buildings and things like that. And then behind all that is your more greener pastures and stuff. But it's definitely different than here in the States for sure.
I'd say the actors in this didn't do a whole lot. This Bob Bailing, who plays Chris in the movie, looks like he stopped acting around 1983, but he was in The Enforcer and Cujo. I don't know if you noticed that.
I was going to say the older lady in the golden shower scene. She was in Toxic Avenger 2 and 3 and a bunch of other stuff. She's probably the most recognizable one of the bunch as far as the amount of films that she's done.
Yeah. And then the girl, Jane Lyle, she was only in one other film. I call it the Land of the Minotaur. I don't know if you've seen that with Peter Cushing. It was.
Yeah, I know she was a model, and they brought her on to do this, and they even say, obviously she couldn't act very well. Her line delivery is not great. And then she went pretty much back to modeling afterwards, but she was very attractive. So
I thought she did. I thought she did fine. They make a believable couple.
Right.
And then, of course, when you find out the twist, I think and it's believable to me. They kind of look like, from a twist perspective, it looks like it works. It doesn't.
Well, don't give it away, man. We can't spoil everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. In retrospective, when you find out, you're like, yeah, I could see that. As she kind of goes along with whatever he wants to do, even if she's not feeling it. And everything, just because of the situation that actually is. And it kind of throws you off at the beginning too. He calls his mom and says, "Hey, I'm having sex with," what is it, Celia, right? Is her name?
Right.
And you're like, well, why would that be such a big deal? But you find out later why.
Yeah.
Okay, so but yeah, he's pretty much a photographer. A lot of this movie takes place through the perspective of his camera. I thought that was pretty interesting to shoot this movie that way too. It does get kind of annoying at times, in my opinion, especially like when they first get to the island and he's like taking pictures of flowers for like no reason and just going and going. Like,
well, he's obviously got kind of a voyeuristic fetish kind of thing going, because he doesn't miss an opportunity to snap any kind of fetish shit going on. I mean, he eats that crap up.
Yeah, and they both get off on watching each other do things with other people too before the murders take place. You know,
Right. I tell you
and then
the
you have a cameo from Niko in here as well.
Yeah, I don't think he was not particularly comfortable in front of the camera. I mean, I don't think it I guess there's a reason why he's a director instead of an actor. He looked kind of stiff. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, you could tell his lines are kind of they're like we do on here, but we're doing YouTube. We kind of talk over each other at times and things, but he was kind of doing that too in his little scene there
yeah.
where they were staying at. So
Apparently, the actor he had an actor identified for that role, but they didn't. The guy wanted a little bit more money than he was paying, so he ended up just doing it himself. Apparently,
yeah. I mean, the guy wanted $80. What I mean, who has that kind of cash? I mean, come on, you're making a movie for 30 grand. You ain't got $80.
Yeah, $80 is too much. Did you know this whole film has its own website?
Really? I didn't even notice.
Islandofdeath.com is like a whole website dedicated to this movie. It's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, judging by the features and everything, Niko himself isn't even a fan of this movie, and he doesn't understand why people, like us, enjoy this shit. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not a great film. Again, it's more just a series of I care a catalog of isolated scenes of torture, perversion, and murder. It doesn't seem to have any real flow. But it's just a bizarre film. It's just one of the most bizarre films in the exploitation genre that I've ever seen. I think it's one of those that it sets out to shock you in multiple different ways, and it achieves the goal. I mean, I'm kind of counting the 6 out of 10 category with it. I think I don't think
I might be a little higher than you. I might go like 6.5. I really like this movie. I don't know why. And a couple of the scenes actually, I mean, like I've mentioned before, there's not too much in movies that shock me or like get to me or make me feel uncomfortable. But there was a couple scenes in here that made me feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, there's just a bunch. I mean, it's just a running list of torture type stuff. And I tell you, the bulldozer decapitation is I thought that was well done. Well done.
Yeah. And I like how he talks about it being convenient to help him move her body to the ocean too afterwards.
Yeah. What'd you think of the ending of this one?
The ending's just crazy, man. Like, I mean, again, without giving too much away, in case anyone's not seen this movie for whatever reason, and are watching and don't mind spoilers, but it's just like, what happened to Celia at the end? Like, what happened to her state of mind with this sheep herder? Like, and I know early on she sees him in a dream, and she says that's the guy from my dream and all that, but something really flipped in her, and I think she was kind of tired of being told what to do by, I already forgot his name, by her husband, by Christopher.
Yeah.
And it's like she felt like she was free now. Maybe I don't know.
I'll tell you what, the sheep herder man must have took some Viagra because he was the Energizer Bunny, man.
Yeah, and damn well before they got there, he was getting it with the sheep. So I mean, yeah, because not only does he get it with her, he gets it with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy ending. I mean, we could sit here and tell you guys what happens, and if you haven't seen it, you still don't even understand by us describing it how kind of messed up it is.
And I think this is another one similar to, I would say, analogous to Last House on the Left as far as the music. You've got these soft, this musical score and song. It's like it goes really well with a travelogue look of Greece. I think what's the song called, Mother, but it's a very soft song, kind of a catchy tune, and then in the midst of all that, you've got all this horrific shit going on. It's the contrast, I think, that makes it unsettling.
Yeah,
Very much like
and
Last House on the Left type stuff.
when they're running away and everything and trying to seek refuge, you have that song playing, something about Jesus, take my hand or something.
Yeah,
I guess Niko wrote the lyrics for a lot of these songs too.
I guess there's just kind of a macabre element to this movie, almost like a black comedy too. I mean, if I think people that are going to see this in today's society, probably, with the golden shower, the bestiality, are going to have a hard time seeing the comedic elements to this. But I kind of consider this more of a black comedy. It's just so off the wall, so over the top. It's like each scene is trying to top the previous scene. What can we do to top the next one? I mean, it just goes after your senses with full force.
And I love the look on Christopher's face during the golden shower scene when she starts to actually like it. He's like, wait a minute, hold on, this isn't you freaky. Yeah. My one question though is, how are they able to drive those nails into that ground so easily in that crucifixion scene?
I don't know. Maybe they did some prep work first with the drill. I mean, it wasn't hard. It didn't look. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in that guy's place, man. That had to be pretty damn miserable. Way to go. But
yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen another movie like this with so many different shocking death scenes and them just believing what they're doing is right the whole time. And I think that's where some of the music goes into play too, is you're kind of getting it from their point of view, where they're doing God's work in their eyes and everything. So to them, this isn't anything bad that they're doing.
No, well, and it's always, I mean, not just like in the Catholic Church. I mean, do as I say, not as I do. You got priests molesting kids, but they're, I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, this couple doesn't see their actions as being perverted or against the Bible, and yet they're judging other people.
Yeah. And one other character in here we didn't mention, they do have a like detective or cop or something from the where they're from, like after them as well. And he's not in it a whole lot. They take care of business with him pretty quickly, but you do have that little side story, I guess, going on as well. And he didn't do anything else either. This is pretty much the only thing he did as well.
Yeah,
That Foster character.
Right. All the acting in this, with the exception maybe of Niko himself, was very good. But really, these guys didn't have much other than Chris. I think Bob Bailing was the only one that really went on to do anything.
Yeah, and you think this would have played out like it did had he had not kept that damn diary?
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, you're told that's what got him in trouble and got him where he was. So
I don't know. I mean, I think if you got the mindset of a psychopath, which just both this couple had, diary or no diary, I think you're just going to indulge in all kinds of perverted shit. I mean, even the girl. I mean, she got off on sticking the gun in the guy's mouth and torturing the gay. There's a scene where a gay couple gets tortured by a gun and a samurai sword. It's just obviously that wouldn't fly today. I mean, you'd have people crawling up. Some of these films are just amazing. I mean, I think when you look at the video nasty list, this is one that I'm not into censoring of any kind, first of all, but this is one that can certainly, you can argue and justify it being on the list just because of the subject matter and the scenes themselves.
I was going to say, from what I was reading, they say like originally like 13 minutes were cut out, then it was submitted, and then like another 4 minutes was cut out. I didn't see what the original 13 minutes were cut for, but I did see it was censored for the main rape scene with Celia and the two guys. And then, which the two guys, I guess, were actually just tourists that were there in Greece, and Niko hired them for that scene, which is pretty interesting. But between that scene and the aerosol burn with the lesbian heroin addict. Those were like the two main scenes, and then you had the one with the sickle going through the door where he accidentally, takes her out. Those were like the three main parts of it that were really cut in the final cut of it.
Yeah, so the goat scene made it, huh?
Yeah, they didn't even say anything about the goat scene on there. I don't think. I guess this is normal. No goats were harmed in the making of this film. By the way, they sedated the goat. He did say they sedated the goat to do what they needed to do, and he's not sure if the goat is still alive 20 years later. So,
in some states, it's illegal.
In some states, it's what? Legal?
It's illegal in some states.
I thought it was illegal everywhere.
I think in Louisiana it's okay.
I don't want to know how you know that. Okay. So this movie had a lot of different titles, by the way, and trying to get it through the boards to get approved. You had like Isle of Perversion. You had Killing Daylight was one of the more latter titles for it. Psychic Killer 2, which made no sense whatsoever. Said Isle of Perversion again. Destination.
Craving for Lust, right?
Craving for Lust.
Is the edited.
They tried to market it so many different ways to get approval from, the MPAA and all that kind of shit. Whatever it is over there in the UK.
Shame they didn't do a sequel. I talked about doing a sequel to this. It's a shame they didn't do it.
Right.
I'd like to have seen that.
Yeah. I mean, he's got like 4 or 5 things in production right now. I mean, he's still working today. I mean, very proficient career for sure. Yeah,
he makes some really good movies. I like The Wind with Meg Foster. I don't know if you've seen that. And
I'm trying to remember if I watched The Wind or not.
That's an Arrow release as well. And then Zero Boys is batshit crazy. That's a fun movie.
Yeah, Zero Boys is really out there.
Yeah,
but
that's
for
about
him to say he didn't try to make a shocking movie. I don't believe that for a second. He did it for money, but whatever. Yeah, I think that about covers this one. Again, we try to keep these pretty short.
Yeah, I don't have anything else on this one. It's just one you have to see for yourself. It's just
right
for us to dive in and diagnose it and dissect it. It wouldn't do it justice. You just need to see it. Go out and see it. Actually, it's on Prime. If you don't want to pay to get the Blu-ray, just go watch it. Go watch it on Prime. Yep.
Yeah. Like you said, we could sit here and read the whole script to you guys, and you still wouldn't quite, get the feel of this movie. You just have to experience it for yourself. So yeah.
What do we got? What do we got on tap next week?
I'm gonna let you pick this one, man. I've been picking them.
What?
I've been picking these things, man. I don't know. What was this for? Was this section 1 or 2?
I think this was section 1.
Yeah, it was. Yep. This was section 1. So we got section 2. Let's see. Well, we can do something everybody knows. I mean, we got the Evil Dead and Funhouse, and
Funhouse would be good. I haven't seen Funhouse in a while. I actually saw Funhouse in the theaters when it first came out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. That works for me. Yeah, we can do that. I haven't watched it since the old DVDs, so I can watch the Blu-ray now and re-experience.
Yeah, the Scream Factory Blu-ray. You got that one, right? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the Funhouse next. How about that?
Cool. Yeah, we'll do something a little more well-known and get that out there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Again, we enjoy doing these. Look forward to hearing your guys' comments. If you guys have seen this movie, definitely let us know what you think of it. And watch Funhouse for the next episode if you guys want to do that beforehand. Yeah, that's about it.
Thanks for watching.
Yep. Later, guys.